I got kind of drunk on the last one.
Yes.
Yeah, I was watching. I was like, I don't remember talking about any of that.
I was intoxicated. Yeah.
I don't know why that happened.
It was a good giggle fest though. That was needed. Who doesn't need like a nice serotonin like bing?
That was a good little pop.
Yeah.
But I didn't even drink that much. I drank like one drink before you got here, and then whatever.
Well, you're not a drinker, so of course a drink gets you there.
Yeah. Well, apparently I drink every time we do the podcast.
I mean, it's a Sunday morning.
Why not? I've never drank a bourbon this early before. Well, it's not that early anymore.
I mean,
It's 10:37.
depends on when you woke up. Being early.
That's true.
I set an alarm so I could get up.
It's all relative. I woke up at 5
Oof. Sam did too.
a.m.
I was out of bed by 8:30.
I was kind of worried. I was like, you're going to get here at 10. I was like, yeah, right. I was like, oh, we'll start at 11:30.
Dude, 17 minutes. I got here at 10:17.
Yeah, I was proud of you.
Thank you. I've done much better.
Yeah.
It's a joke. It's real life, but it's a joke amongst everybody. People tell me like, okay, the party's at 7, guys. Sarah, we'll see you at 12:30. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, fuck you guys. I am late. I don't need to be.
Yeah, I guess people have to tell you like if the party's at 11.
I
but
mean,
it's really at 12.
Okay, it was one instance where I had set up 2 previous like appointment times with friends, and then we were going to hang out afterwards. But I went to work, so I was like coming from Noonan back home. That took forever just to lock up the shop and like leave. And then I was already like an hour behind.
Yeah.
And then there were like hour appointments. And then we were supposed to meet friends at like 9. And then I got there at like 10:30.
Whoa, what's up, fam?
What's up, guys?
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking that Hustle drink. That is our fan favorite.
Yeah.
Hustle drink and bourbon. That's what we're
Dude,
kind
that's
of. That's kind of what we're rocking.
That's
And
ridiculous.
water.
Yeah, well, that's good. Those two are ridiculous.
Yeah, you
So-
guys, you can't see the concoction if you're just hearing us, but look at that color.
It looks like Diet Coke.
I mixed them. Bourbon and Hustle.
Yeah, so Sarah has like one of the weirdest quirks of any person I've ever met. She has no fear when it comes to mixing
I will put everything in the
beverages together. So she just mixed like really strong, kind of disgusting bourbon with green tea.
cup. And it's delicious.
Is it? Have you drank it yet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Drink a drink.
I mean,
and
okay.
Look
Hi,
at the
guys.
camera and let's watch your face.
Ta-da. Beverages.
How hard was that?
I mean, not hard.
Yeah.
It got an interesting grit to it from the matcha.
Yeah.
So, but no, it's good.
I don't think I can handle it. I don't think I can handle a potent bourbon with grit.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point, right? Get some grit into it.
Yeah. So one of the comments. Oh, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, guys. Good morning.
We started.
Yeah.
One of the comments I got last time was that cussed too much.
Oh,
I got kind of drunk on the last one though.
yeah. I mean, we were dropping some F-bombs pretty consistently.
Let me get them out of my system.
Yeah. Fuck. Like a goofy fuck. Fuck.
Butts. All right, I got it.
Farts and butts and fuck.
All right, we're good. We're ready to roll now.
Perfect.
Butts and farts and fuck.
So we just finished up the holiday.
Heck yeah, man.
That was nice. That was a lot more nice than not nice.
It was a lot more nice than not nice. It's kind of this podcast gets kind of weird with me. Last December was probably I never told you this before. It was the worst stretch of my life, I think.
Oh, really?
It was 1 or 2. I have to see like a couple, but you have people have stuff that happens to them. I was the unhappiest I've ever been last December through like January. It was awful. Like, so my Andre's mom took Andre, my son, who was amazing.
The amazing boy.
Yeah. Oh, he's my son. I love him. He's my world, man. Like, when you I try not to identify. I've been trying to stop identifying myself as anything, which is kind of hard.
Get those labels out of there.
Yeah, right. But the only one I've ever identified with is being a good dad or being a father. Like, I'm not a doctor or a whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever labels.
I'm dad.
Yeah, I've never. The other stuff was just things that I have to do so I can be a dad.
Yeah.
So, where was I going? Oh yeah, sorry. You know how my mind is. Sorry.
Yeah. Last December, it was awful.
Yeah, it was awful. So his mom took him to her parents' house.
Was that in New Mexico?
In New Mexico, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I do remember him like leaving
Yeah, so we left for
weeks, right?
weeks. Yeah. So we left over Christmas break to spend Christmas over there, which is okay because his great grandfather lives there too, and he's pushing.
Nice.
Yeah, he's like 87.
Yeah, it's good to see that.
Yeah, so it wasn't anything negative on her end, but for me, it rocked my world.
Because he was just gone.
He was gone. So like my whole purpose for being alive was just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was on Christmas. And it was a particular time in my life where I had like people in my life, but they didn't want to be in my life, but they made sure that they were in my life.
Yeah.
It's really weird. So like on Christmas, I was alone.
Yeah.
Like it was just totally by myself. And there were supposed to be people around me that wanted to spend time with me, and they didn't.
And they were not there.
Yeah. So that hurt, man. And then my son wasn't there, and that hurt. And then I don't know what it was, but I went into like this deep spiral. Like I'm pretty self-aware when it comes to things, you know what I mean? I try to be self-aware.
That is the goal.
Yeah, right. So
To
like
be better at this human experience and like keep dialing in.
I'm trying to dial it in,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So, and then I'm also pretty, like, I'm like a window. Like I'm transparent when it comes to like what I'm feeling. Like to a point I'll share it, like, right
Obviously,
now.
we're right here in microphones and be like, this is what's on my heart.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, seeing how there was nobody there, I was just thinking through it, and I was like getting to this. I've never gotten such a deep, negative, dangerously negative place. You know what I mean? Like I was thinking all these bad thoughts and like suicidal thoughts, and like it was weird. It was like someone overtook. It was like I've never really experienced anything like it before. It was like, hey, here's Chris. And then like the next day some stuff happens. I got overwhelmed, and then like someone took over my brain.
Yeah.
And I was just like, why am I thinking like this?
That's depression and anxiety just
Yeah.
taking over. Be like, hardwire, wrong. We're going to do this.
Yeah, but it was wild, man. I guess it was just running in the background, like like a deep autopilot that I didn't like. I either didn't know it was there, I stopped paying attention to it, or maybe I was working on preventing it from the autopilot from taking over. Like I was in
Yeah.
manual drive.
Yeah.
and
Just
not,
fighting it just the whole way.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then I got overwhelmed. It was tough, man. It was weird, like the experience that to go from like, hey, I think I goof around and make jokes
Yeah.
and like just kind of like loving life, and then get hit to where it was like another entity. I know it was an entity. I know it was all coming from myself. Took over my brain. It was like a second brain that sucked. It got plopped into my head, and then all these thoughts started like creeping into my brain, and it got really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking all these negative thoughts and like
What a turnaround in 360 days, 65 days.
yeah, right. And then I set a goal.
Yeah.
I love goals. I don't know if you, I do.
He's a goal setter.
I am. I like setting goals. I like having an endpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of the game. I like to gamify my life. You know what I mean? Like, it makes it fun.
Are you kind of like an algorithms type person?
No, there's nothing about me that. There's nothing about me algorithmic.
Sam is like master algorithm man. Like every step, he's like, his processing is the algorithm. And that's not my words. That's his words of his experience. But
I'm the opposite. So I like to have a goal.
Yeah.
Like an endpoint, and I don't even think about how I get there.
I like having goals, but I'm also really kind on myself. So I'm like, oh, you didn't make that goal. You're all right.
No,
Like,
that's okay. Well, that's okay too, because
Yeah.
like you got further in life than you would have.
I do keep circling back. I'm a very circular person. So if
Yeah.
like I have a goal, like, my education I'm trying to learn, guys, 18 months. I have been paying for this stuff.
Isn't it like a 3-month course?
Oh my God. It's only 80 hours.
80 hours.
That could be done in a week if I tried real hard. Okay, not really. It's really hard. Like 1 hour of like credit time is however long you can get done with an hour's worth of education.
Yeah, it's
For
like-
me, that's like 5 hours maybe.
But it's like in a lot of right now you're doing a lot of anatomy and physiology and
Yeah.
stuff.
So it's and then his terminology, this is someone who's been in that headspace of his doctor words for 10 plus years. So he's just like bam, 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 bam.
I cannot relate to that.
Oof.
I've been in
So-
my headspace with Dr. Words for 13 years.
Yeah.
And they are gone.
Yeah, so he lives that, and I really appreciate it. Dr. Brent Brookbush, he's a good dude. Brookbush Institute, that's what I'm learning. And then German. So, I cycle back to it. I use my social media time. If it's not looking at cats, it's following physical therapy and just like, keep saving things and just keep putting it in the
Yeah.
forefront.
I always thought like people like, because YouTube started off as cat videos, I think. Like that's how it
Yeah.
started. I thought that was a joke. Like
Oh my
it wasn't
gosh.
real.
There's a whole documentary that's called something, I can't remember it, but it's all about like the evolution of cats on the internet. And it's 2 hours. That's a lot of content. It's
Yeah.
impressive.
But I get it because like
Mostly cats.
I get it because like I like TikTok a lot. Like I
Yeah.
don't make TikTok. I mean I make TikTok videos of us, but like I don't like do TikTok trends.
Yeah, no, I don't even know how to do that.
Yeah, you have to they practice it, man.
Yeah.
They practice it, but
In the grocery store,
Yeah,
in the
you-
cars, it's dangerous.
Have you ever
guys.
caught
Like,
someone doing one?
dude, in the car? So and this girl is in like either her daddy gave her this Mercedes. I mean, it's an older, probably 80s model. It was still nice. It was a Mercedes. And
sometimes that's the move, man. Like get that boxy Mercedes.
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying this, but they were in a nice car. This was my point. They were in this very nice car that someone took care of for them to have a badass Mercedes. And they're just like, whoaing in the car. And I'm like, guys, we are in traffic.
Renegade.
And I'm just like, and I'm just looking in my mirror. And I'm a dancer in my car, don't get me wrong. But they were not paying attention. Both their hands were off the wheel. I was very nervous. Yeah. I was like, don't hit me with that ton of steel. You're going to break my plastic car. My little green bean can't handle that. Like,
yeah, I was in walking through Publix one time. Yeah, I know, I get it, right?
I've seen people in public.
Yeah, and then, I'm not going to lie, me and my son.
He's like flossing or something.
Yeah. It was like a whole song that had like 4 or 5 dance moves in it. So it's kind of funny. Me and my son, he saw someone do it and he's like, Dad, what are they doing? Not in Publix, but I was like, he's like, they're recording a video of dances. He's like, can you teach me to do that? I was like, sure, man. So like teach
me the ways, Dad.
Yeah. So we got on TikTok and we practiced it. And then so like we recorded one or whatever. So he kind of knows the move. So I know them because I taught him, like we worked it together. So we were, not him, but just me was going through Publix. I caught like this, like, I don't know, person 13 or 14. I don't know how old they are, 12. I can't tell anymore.
Yeah. It's like you're ambiguously aged human child. Man. Marlon. You can't hear me.
My dog, my dog's deaf and she's licking the tripod. But thanks. Don't do it, Marlene. But I was walking through Publix and I saw some sort of aged person.
Lock you back in.
Yeah, hey, you locked in.
Yeah, locked in.
Thank you. Guys. I saw some sort of aged person doing that dance, and I knew how to do it, so I snuck behind her and I joined in with her. So I got in on her TikTok.
Heck yeah! Be like, TikTok famous on someone else's TikTok.
I don't know if it's famous, but I did TikTok bomb that person. Then it was awesome.
Like, we know how to do this together.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Clubs, when they open back up, people are just going to be doing their TikTok dances.
Dude, they said like, so we were just talking about this. Sorry, I got into a show called Boardwalk Empire.
Oh yeah,
it came on I think like 10 years ago on HBO, but it's about prohibition times and gangster shit.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
They probably weren't putting green tea in their bourbon.
No,
they were like, we worked really hard for this.
No, it was crazy, man. Those dudes and gals just drank straight liquor all day.
That was me on the shelter in place.
What are you doing? Straight liquor.
Straight liquor with a little bit of lemon juice.
Yeah, and then so they had the prohibition age, and then when that ended is when the Roaring 20s happened. Yeah. I think, if my memory serves me correct, like time wise. So it's prohibition, the speakeasy era, and then the Roaring 20s followed once alcohol became legal again.
They're like, we're gonna drink it all the time. Yeah. Party.
So I was listening to some I can't talk today. That's not bourbon today. It's my southern accent. It's
southern accents, yeah.
Southern. It's sociologist. Man, I can't.
Sociologist.
Yeah, that's a word, right?
Sociologist.
Listening to So I got tongue tied. Listening to some interviews with those folk, and they were thinking or hypothesizing that I don't know if it's gonna be like whatever decade we're in, the Roaring 20s right now, that we're going to have our version of the Roaring 20s.
Oh, I keep seeing this more on like a metaphysical aspect of like the age of Aquarius starts in a few months.
Okay, so I know nothing about that shit.
I know. It's okay.
No, but tell me what it is.
Okay,
so when you say the age of Aquarius, there's probably people listening going, what is that? You know what I mean? What does that mean?
I'm still a little fuzzy on it, but I do know like, okay, so we had the big conjunction the other day where you could see Jupiter and Saturn really close to each other. Got a great view of it on my way out of work. And then when I got home to get my telescope out, we kind of peeled it around. And I was like, it'll still be there. No, the hell it won't. Shit moves. It was already below the horizon line by the time we got my telescope out.
Planets be tripping.
But,
I think it's cool that you have.
But back to the Aquarius. Hold on. Go.
You got a telescope. That's awesome.
Yeah, the telescope is it's called a Star Seeker 2.
I want my name to be Star Seeker 2. Call me Star Seeker 2 from now on.
Mr. Star Seeker.
Yes.
Hailing frequencies open.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
It's okay. Anywho, where we live now, obviously we have county skies, so it's big and open. I'm pretty sure being in the age of a zodiac has something to do with its position, either where the sun sets or like whenever I saw the Aquarius constellation. As an Aquarius, this was the first time I've seen the entire constellation.
How did you know?
I looked it up. I mean, okay. I'm not that fancy. I do not know how to navigate. I know where the moon is. I know what some planets look like. And I know where the Orion belt is.
I don't know. I don't know that. I know the moon.
Yeah.
But there's a app you can get and look up.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Okay, cool.
So I had one of those.
So it works? That works for real?
Yeah, if you can figure out the 3-dimensional axis spin to like align it, that takes me forever.
You know what? I can't remember.
But also like big context, like the moon was there. I saw where Mars was, and like if you take a step back, you can see the constellations.
Yeah.
If you have a big enough like space to see it, you can see, because they're huge. They take up the whole dome that is the sky for the most part.
That's crazy. One of the things I think we've done, like one of the reasons humanity's so weird. I mean, we're awesome, but we're also kind of weird right now. Is like
weird, silly little monkeys that like technology and be like, we're the greatest.
Yeah, right. We'd rather do renegade in public.
Yeah.
But what
Get
we
my
did,
macaroni doing the renegade.
peanut butter,
peanut butter macaroni. That'd be a gross meal.
But we got all these artificial lights, which are great, but it's like blackened out. Like
light pollution.
Yeah, the light pollution's kind of like covered up the greatest art in the history of humanity. When you look up, you can't see the stars anymore.
Yeah. Which fire doesn't do that, which is really cool. Yeah, you can be at a fire right in front of you, and the light from the fire will not cause light pollution. It's really great.
One of the coolest, that is cool.
Yeah.
One of the coolest things about going out into the woods, like I don't do it very often, but like whenever you're out, like property where you live, is just to go outside and look up.
Oh, so probably the best I've seen. I've talked about festivals before. One of my favorite is the one Halloween that happens around October, and it's a Halloween time. And it is in a venue in Live Oak, Florida, called the Spirit of Swanee Music Park. And excuse me, during it's like full year camping. There's like horse stalls and things like that, but it's no light pollution. It's a really beautiful place. It's Florida, so it's pretty flat and pretty open. The trees aren't that tall. But whenever you're walking around, especially like when you start going back to your campsite, like you can see the twinkle from like the everything moving and like how long it takes to get here. So stars are literally twinkling. It's amazing.
I don't know if I've ever I can't remember seeing stars twinkle.
Yeah, unless you're like outside, no light, 3 a.m., midnight-ish. You got to get that dark sky.
Yeah, because I grew up. I've always been like in an urban, like like great around Atlanta. That's where I'm. My whole life has always been like around.
I mean,
Atlanta.
even if you're in just like a small section, even on the outskirts of town, you can still see the light pollution from town.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I've never.
Unless you lived out in like nowhere.
No, there's always been people.
Yeah.
And stuff.
There's been lights.
Yeah, messing it up.
I mean, the lights are good whenever you live in places like that. You appreciate those lights walking to your car.
But it's true. But I think there's something like humbling when you look up in the sky and you see like the Milky Way or whatever you can see. Like when you can actually see space, it kind of puts you in your place of like how how cosmically insignificant. How I don't know if we're insignificant. I shouldn't say that. But like how cosmically small we are.
Yeah, we are still just a little blurb in our little corner.
Yeah, because I mean we are significant. We all, like you have gravity.
Yeah,
not a lot, but like like your
enough.
Yeah, like your gravity's help pulling the moon around the Earth or whatever. Not a lot, but I mean like so we're not.
It's got an effect.
It does, right? It's all important. So we're definitely small, but I guess it was super significant.
Yeah, isn't that funny? We're like. I mean, I don't like the duality of things, but I mean, we're like...
I love the duality of things.
Yeah, you can get stuck in duality,
I live in that space, the gray area.
The gray area of everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that there is no like one way to do a lot of things. There's probably an example where there is a right way to do things, but I'm a believer that there's black and white, and they're like black and white strips that are like juxtaposed or butted up against each other. So when we take a couple steps back, it all looks gray. Yeah,
it's just really funny. Like any avenue of like self-help, it's like you can't go all the way down each stream. You can't go to the end of it. You either got to. I was thinking about it earlier. It's like your input, regardless of what you're looking at, whether you're like looking things through a duality lens or looking at things from. We're big, we're small, it doesn't matter, but you can't go all the way down. Those are all just little ingredients of who you decide to be in this little blurb of human experience.
Here's the cosmic soup. Just
little pinch. Be like, here's a little pinch of that book I read. Here's a little pinch of that podcast that I remember. Here's a little pinch of like the fake memories that we like make up in our head, and we're like decide that is truth. Yeah.
You're like, no, it was purple.
It was purple. It definitely was.
It was definitely.
Be like, it wasn't even there. Be like, oh, it was still purple.
Yeah, it's kind of trippy when it comes to that. Like, so this is, oh man, Marley, stop it.
get on that spray bottle life.
Yeah, no, right. So you have a Nerf gun out, really, when we're doing the podcast. So my dog's deaf. She's fantastic. And she also has, I think it's called a stereopathy. I can't, don't get her riled up. Sarah's over there playing with dog. It's on now. But yeah, so she licks stuff.
She's a licker.
She is a licker. But like, so it's science. And I can't remember where I read this science, but it's definitely science. I don't think it's very like debatable science.
On what? Sorry, are we still talking about dog licking?
No. I moved on from that.
Okay.
I was just kind of like filling time.
Okay.
That like, so like 95% of what we do or think throughout the day is our subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's the autopilot robot in the background, and only 5% of what we do and think throughout the day is our conscious, is our on purpose focus. So when it comes to like the self-help books, and which I love, I read self-help, but maybe that's my problem.
You have too much input.
I have too much stuff going on, right? Too much input, but like only 5% of what you do is actually the conscious mind. Because like there's I think the technical term for the I can't talk to that.
Psychological term.
There you go. I should just dub you over all my all my mess ups.
Blah, blah, blah.
Is mind wandering. I believe that's the term. But it is what you think it is. So,
Different than daydreaming?
yeah, it's just because daydreaming, I guess, and well, maybe it's the same thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I think that
I do that all day.
yeah,
It's
so,
a problem.
Yeah. So that's your
A good problem,
So
though?
that's your background. That's your subconscious or your programming taking over your life. But it does it to everybody. So
Yeah.
they said 95% of what we do, think, and do throughout the day is a program.
Yeah.
It's not like like the man put a program in you. It's just been what you've been programmed in growing up as a kid.
Yeah, like that link you sent me earlier of that gentleman talking. We can put it in a link later. Anyhow,
Check the show notes
check the show notes; they'll be there.
if I remember.
But just to get away from, like you were talking about, like the labels that we decide to put on like things that we decide that we are, and whenever we stop trying to like control every little like output and reaction that we have. He was mentioning like living more openly, and life is our experience, choosing joy or woes. And
I can't believe you watched the link. I send people links and they never watch them.
I watch a lot of things. If you send me movies or stuff, I may not watch it. Music, sorry. I like links.
I like links too. I like when people
things.
send. Yeah, I like when people send me trippy stuff. I always watch. I send trippy stuff out to people. They never watch it.
It's like, look at this. Be like, I don't want to look at the things you thought.
Cats and psychedelic shit.
Meow. Yeah,
That's what life is about.
cats are pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, they are phenomenal. But like the Jesuits, and then I know in traditional Catholicism that they say that there's a saying. It's like, give me 7 years and I'll show you the man. Which is
Like the man that you
will
put
become.
into effort. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is kind of cool. It's a cool saying, but it's also backed by science. Sorry, I'm kind of jumping around.
Yeah.
I'm kind of into it because my son is turning 7 in 2 weeks. Actually, 1 week, 8 days. Sorry.
Yay.
Yeah, I know, right? So he's turning 7, so it's kind of impactful for me right now.
Yeah, isn't that like the whole thing? Like your body is regenerated at that 7th year. There's like a 7-year cycle.
Yeah, so that's with your cells turning over, right? And then I think it's your liver that lags. I think the liver is a lagger on that one. I could be
Ooh,
wrong.
what cells have a name? Is it half-life? Something's got a half-life.
Radioactive stuff.
Things.
Yeah.
What do the cells have? The cells have a.
I'm not gonna lie, I've never understood the term half-life before.
It's a thing.
Yeah, I learned it like in all my classes I took through school, but it was one of those things where I just memorized the definition and plotted it into
Just
something.
like I need to pass this test.
Yeah, but
I'm
I
a
didn't
doctor.
actually grasp the concept for whatever. It had no relevance on what I do.
I mean, they don't go into the detail. They're just like, this is what you need to know to pass
Yeah,
because
but
that's kind of what they did in school for you. It was like, you need to pass your boards.
Yeah, you need to know this stuff, but like, I also don't deal in pharmacology. Like I don't need to know the half-life. You know what I mean? That's not
Yeah.
not my bag.
Good
But-
broad stuff. but-
Yeah, so like when it comes like the program that's running like our subconscious, like below conscious, like
Yeah.
the thing that's running, like when you're daydreaming,
Yeah.
like what your mind's
You
wandering.
still make it all the way home.
Yeah, right. So it's not even that's the daydreaming, but mind wandering is like when you're not consciously, okay, I'm going to read and study my Brook Bush Institute. Like
Yeah.
that's your conscious taking over and
Yeah.
doing your wishes and desires, right? That's
Yeah.
what you want. But then what about all the other stuff when you're just like sitting there and then your mind, what are you thinking?
When you've read the same page, same paragraph 7 times, because you're like, I didn't even look at that.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Oh, that one will hurt you.
Yeah, but it's just like, no, and people self-talk where it's just in there thinking, I'm fat, I'm broke, I can't do this, I can't do that. Or it could be the opposite. It could be like, things are going a good way. This is right. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this happen.
Self-talk in general, the conversation that you
have. And just how you act and how you interact. There's like a million things you have to learn to be like a fully functional human, right? So like no one teaches you all those things. It's impossible. Like you teach some stuff when your parents teach you things. I teach my son some things, but like they model it.
Yeah, after what they've been taught.
Yeah, after what they see. So like in the first 7 years of your life, your brain, like your brain has waves, which is cool. Like because everything's quantum, man. Ooh. So like there's different wavelengths and stuff. And I think theta is the one when you're
alpha, beta, theta.
Yeah, so theta is the brain should be when you're 0 to 7, your brain is in theta mode, which is the same state that you get into when someone hypnotizes you. Oh. So in the first 7 years,
so that's why they're so receptive.
That's why. Oh, my son's a sponge.
Oh yeah.
That's why, because their brain
they're hypnotized.
They're in hypnosis. Well, it's not that they're controlling them, but their brain is in the same
wavelength.
Doesn't theta, the same receptive state. Like to be hypnotized, you have to be open to it, or there's a word for it, receptive to it. I can't remember the word, right? So they walk around the first 7 years of life in theta. So they're modeling and absorbing everything. So that's why they say it's kind of cool. Like they've been saying it for hundreds of years. Like, give me 7 years and I'll show you the man. But that's actually science has shown that the first 7 years that's
that's cool. I didn't know that.
So that is a long-winded answer. So this is kind of an opposite of the last podcast.
Yeah, we got real thoughts. It's early.
Well, all I did was drink and cuss on the last one. We talked about aliens though.
Yeah.
I do like aliens.
I mean, we have no agenda for this. We are just here.
Aliens are real.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But like, so like that program, like when your mind's wandering and then how you think of things and how you just make choices without actually thinking about them. Cause like 95% of your things you do is the autopilot. And, that's learned the first 7 years of life. That's cool. That's the autopilot. And then you learn, like they call it the educated mind will learn how to count or like, how to do
more abstract thought.
Or just facts.
Yeah.
All the facts you learn from 7 on. That's the educated mind.
Yeah.
Right?
Kids don't come up to you at 4 and be like, I know this fact about life.
Yeah. It's not that, but like, so it's kind of cool.
They're like, there was a cup and Jimmy brought the cup. And then if he didn't have a cup, I would have a cup for him.
You're like, yep.
And that's conversations with the little ones.
Yeah. So it kind of be thinking like, especially, I've been thinking about it now, like last December, what the fuck was I programmed with? Because like I was the autopilot, the evil monkey in the back of my brain took over. Like my willpower wasn't strong enough to overtake the programs that are running in the background.
Yeah.
And it took over hard. And like I said, I went to a dark place. I got like, I'm just not like, like counseling, like if you get counseling, sometimes it's looked up. I don't know if it's how it used to be.
Yeah.
But it's looked on like as like a negative stereotype.
Yeah. I think after like the 60s, whenever people were like, everyone has a therapist. I have too. And then they were like,
no, man, like even back in the day, you go see a shrink. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, like it's taboo.
Yeah.
That's, but it's just really a way of thinking, coach.
Yeah.
And if you think about it,
and I'm, helping you get through blocks that you didn't have, especially with trauma, because trauma, you don't realize what your blocks are. You just know that you've experienced something because your brain has protected you.
Yeah. And then like, you have a coach for baseball, you have a coach for piano. You have
why is it bad to have a coach for like managing and understanding your being?
Yeah. Right. I've always thought that's the weirdest. Some people, cause like, I'm a doctor, I'm not a psychologist or anything, but like people talk to me like I have a bartender relationship. With a lot of people.
Who you telling? I know that life.
Yeah. Right. Meaning like people just will dump stuff on us. Right. It's like, which is fantastic. Right. But it is like that stereotypical bartender type life. But we know words that, bartenders might know. I cannot make a mint julep. I've never made one. I don't know. I don't even know what it is.
Sidecar might be sidecar is the one drink that no one will card me. They're like, she's an adult if she wants bourbon.
What about bourbon, man? When you drink it, you're drinking. Yeah. It's not like water. When you drink it, you're like, oh, I got magically drunk.
Bourbon.
Every sip, you're like, that's alcohol.
That's alcohol.
That's how you drink it slow and not get jacked up.
And that's why you put it with your blessed matcha.
Those monks are pissed off.
And they're like, excuse me, that is a depressant. I did not decide to have that.
They prayed over those tea leaves. and you mix them with fucking fire water.
But look at that color.
It's nice. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a nice, you can't see it. So let's go down the color lane since it is my favorite.
It's kind of like if it was a jelly, it looks like grape jelly.
Yeah, but it's not quite as purpley. So there's a lot more, obviously, because bourbon is that nice like amber color. And then the beverage that I had is like a berry. So, I mean, it's like, it's got a little bit of like richness of the red that a blackberry would have, but not as black.
It does look like blackberry.
And it's brown. If blackberry was brown.
If blackberry was a brown berry, that's what it would be.
If it was a brown berry.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what if they had brown bears and they were brown berries, but they look like bears?
That'd be amazing.
Like they look like gummy bears.
I would get that tattooed on me. That's what I would get tattooed.
Brown bear.
I fucking love bears, man.
I know. Bears are good.
Bears are good.
I'm excited to go up to the cabins. It's winter. It's cabin time. I love that they're like bear themed.
Except for there's fucking real bears up there.
Yeah, I mean, don't leave your trash out. They have clips on those trash cans for a reason. So
that's one reason I'm scared of bears because like I don't know how to handle. Everyone's like, "Oh, play dead when you see a bear." I'm like, "The fuck, I'm gonna play dead."
Dude, if it's,
I know a bear can rip my arms off. I know it can run faster.
Black, something. If it's brown, stand down. If it's white, you dead.
I'm running.
If it's a polar bear, like you already out
First
of your
of all,
element.
why am I in Antarctica?
I mean, maybe you had some soul seeking to do, and you needed to see some more planets so you can understand the age of Aquarius.
It's true. I feel like if I'm going to soul seek, it's going to be like in the tropics.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying.
The tropics aren't hard enough. Sometimes, like, soul seeking is not this, like, I'm swinging in the air and it's perfect and it's beautiful. It is fucking hard.
There is something to say.
It is hard.
There is something to say about doing hard things.
Yeah.
It is good.
That's probably my biggest turnaround into, like, I am the opposite of you when it comes to self-help stuff.
What does that mean?
I mean, I am almost like, I'm not mad at it.
You're just like, I'm perfect.
No. It's too much. It's like, man, fuck what you're thinking. Like, you can't tell me how to live my life other than like, the only thing other people can do for you is to spark and motivate and to like, you can either emulate their discipline or not.
It's true.
Discipline is all you can really do, like your motivation. Like,
I do get usually like, my
it's fun to motivate because it's an exciting, bubbly feeling, but motivation is not what gets you through stuff. It's like you decide to
That's true. Well, it's
actually do the action of doing.
That's true. It's like, it's the conscious mind. So it stimulates and bubbles up that 5% that you're in control of, but you have to reprogram the autopilot. Yeah.
That's the hard thing.
So all the spiritual walkers and yogis say you have to take steps inward, not outward. You know what I mean? So what it does for me, it helps me say things and know facts, you know what I mean, to help people. But it does motivate me.
Yeah, I mean, they're tools.
It is,
and
tools. That's
what they are.
Yeah, it is. Some are good, some are bad, whatever.
Yeah.
But every time I do, sometimes it depends on the ones I'm listening to or reading. I read a lot. I listen to a lot of books now. Mm-hmm. I don't get as much out of them when I listen to them, but I constantly have them. I'm really like aware of toxic positivity. Yeah, that is.
So that's where I just kind of like, sometimes I look at these self-help, not that they're bad. They've helped many people. I'm glad that they can get people on the track of like thinking that the way they need to do to like accomplish their goals. And that's great. But I'm just mindful of, just because of how many people in just my line of work, I meet a lot of counselors and things of that nature. And some of my dear friends do that kind of work. So understanding the difference.
And massage therapists are weird sometimes.
Yeah,
your mind kind of weird. Don't get me wrong, but like as far as like normal society,
you definitely have to be a different type of person to be able to hold a lot of space for other people.
It's true. Like
and to be able to take all of what people dump onto you.
Yeah, you just went all serious. I was going to joke and say you can spot a massage therapist.
You can. We usually have purple hair.
It's true, but what you're saying is true. It is hard to hold space for someone that long. You know what I mean? And then there's something to be said with the human touch.
Yeah.
Like,
it's definitely nurturing.
The transference of whatever you want to call it, like the transference of whatever
that's exactly
is.
what we would learn. There's transference and counter transference. And if you can't handle the counter transference, you need to either do a lot of things to ground yourself, spiritually protect yourself, mentally get in the game, whatever you like to call it. You don't have to be this like spiritual guru and be like, I need my protection with my crystals and my mist and my...
I like gurus that don't do mist and crystals.
Yeah. I like crystals because they're pretty.
No, I don't not like crystals, but I like my gurus to not have crystals.
Yeah, it's like, I don't need your gimmick. Like, if you want to like your things, I'll probably buy it because I like things. But I don't need that from other people.
It's like you got to sell crystals on the sly. Like, you got crystals too?
But like, I got some in my pocket. I like the the festy life when it comes to like crystals and things like that. Because if you ever go to a festival, folks who've been to one, they'll be like, I have these beautiful things. And you're like, what do you have of equal value that I would like? And they'd be like, I have a tiny unicorn that lights up and goes, And they're like, yes, I want that here on my sunglasses.
I will trade you that.
Dude, trades are so good. Especially whenever people are in this like state of euphoria.
Yeah.
Regardless if that's how they live their life or if they have taken something to expedite that feeling. And they are just looking at you with this like all wide-eyed. And they're like, wow. Oh my gosh, yes, I do want your little fan.
I like how you said that. That was very well wordsmith, how to expedite that feeling.
Yeah.
That was well done.
Yeah.
I'll apology for that.
We'll high five on that one.
Yeah, that was legit. But kind of what you're saying about toxic positivity. Like I try to be a very positive guy, right? So like when I first heard that phrase being coined, it was a trigger for me because I was like, oh, that's just someone who's mean. That's what, it's a trigger. Like it's just the first thing that happens.
Like, just live your life. It's happy. It's great.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, fuck you.
Yeah, right. So like I'm not that way, but I'm not the fuck you, like everything sucks guy either. So like but it was a trigger for me. Anytime I feel triggered by something, I like to dive into it. Like, why am I triggered by that? What does that
make me upset?
Yeah, right. So so there is something. I'm not positive. I'm not, what's the word?
Toxic positivity.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
that's
you're not a toxic positivity.
No, but I do. But there is like if something's happening to you, would you rather be negative about it or positive about it? I'd rather be positive about it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. There's definitely different of like having a positive outlook, regardless if it's a negative situation.
Yeah, right.
And like choosing to find joy instead of misery.
Right.
There's that. But
yeah, because like I like the way Tony Robbins puts it. He's like, I'm not telling you that there's no weeds in your garden. He's just saying find the weed and pull it.
Yeah.
And then grow your garden.
Yeah.
Like I like that metaphor analogy. Like, no, there's weeds there. I'm not saying ignore it. Everything's fine. Like,
it's all great. Nothing's bad.
No, it's bullshit. Find the weed, pull it out, enjoy your life, enjoy your garden.
Yeah, but it's really hard for people to be direct with their emotions like that and to feel an emotion and just handle it. Feel it and deal with it, or feel with it and sit with it.
Yeah.
Some people don't know how to sit with that.
It's true.
Not saying I'm great at it, but it's just, I don't know if it's just a combination of all my ingredients that life has given me. But either like the stability I had in early childhood, the freedom, the third born and being like, you're fine. You're a parent.
You're good.
You're good. You only got one. Apparently when that second one comes along, you're just like, your level of interference changes.
Yeah.
Of how much you want to, not even control, but direct and like be involved with. It's easier one-on-one. A lot of things are easier one-on-one. And then whenever kids,
I have one. Is it easier one-on-one? I don't know.
I don't know. I have zero. I have cats.
Yeah.
But like having that, I don't know, man. I just feel like I had a lot of freedom. Like my parents didn't push me in any way. They gave some suggestions. If I said no, the space. I had space. Maybe that's why I'm an alien.
No,
I had space.
I'm the alien. You're the ninja.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think we suffer from, like humans are special. We suffer from a vivid memory of the past and then a vivid imagination of what the future could be.
Oh, or a vivid imagination of what the past was because you don't remember.
That's true, right? So like we
those
can't,
false memories. That one cracks me up. I feel like I have a lot of those.
I do too.
Yeah,
I do too. So like we suffer from that because like we live in the past, which is I don't know what the past is, but then we have this fear of what's to come in the future, and we don't live in the moment.
Yeah,
that's in the present.
That's scary. That's a scary place to be like, I'm just gonna live right now.
No, well, that's where you should be, is in the present, right? That's like the.
But it's hard because people are trying to change the past and then look at the past. Yeah, then look at the past and like, how can I do that differently? And then so they're going constantly from past to future, past to future.
But they're not in the moment,
and they're not in the moment because they're trying to direct everything. They're trying to change their current situation.
Yeah, so that's something I've been working on, is to kind of like work on that. So if you think of like an hourglass, where this flip the sand and the sand goes through, like the top and bottom are the same size. So one's the past, one's the future. That little bottleneck is the present. That's how most of us live our life. When that should be like the big tube, and the other one should be smaller, like not inverse it, but I guess kind of like opposite that. Like the tail doesn't wag the dog. Yeah. So like the wake doesn't steer the ship. Yeah. The wake, the widdly waves that come out, right? So like if you focus on the wake, it doesn't have any bearing on what's happening right now. Yeah. I mean, you can learn from the past, but if you just sit there and focus on it, you miss what's happening now. Yeah. And if you're not present in the present, then that moment becomes the past, and it sucks because you weren't present for that. And then you're like this weird cycle of making your past suck because you keep thinking about it or worrying about the future. It's weird. It becomes like cyclic, and then you determine a shitty life.
For someone who likes, you like your routine, you like doing your journaling, you like doing your self-help. Do you feel it would be, I know
Let's
you
call
can't
it something better than self-help. Now I feel bad that I do self-help. Like, you know what I mean?
Don't feel bad about what else do you call it?
I don't know.
Tools of stuff.
Not sucking.
Yeah, not sucking at life.
I like to be a better human.
Not being an asshole.
Yeah, I do. I try. I try to be a better human than I was yesterday.
But you being that type of person that likes the tools and like you like you wake up, you like doing the doing your 1, 2, 3. Do you feel it would be beneficial for you to like, hey, this is my time of the day to think about the past. This is my time of day to think about the future, and then live the rest of the day in your.
I don't know if it works that way.
Yeah, I
don't know. I'd have to try that.
I just know a lot of people that like routine and like.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to put into my rhythm. I like rhythms and rituals better than routines. Like, I have rhythms and rituals in my life.
Yeah.
It sounds cool. It should be like a CD cover.
Rhythms and rituals.
Yeah, we should make that the podcast name.
Yeah.
We should change that.
Rhythms and rituals.
Yeah.
You're the one who comes up with these names.
They just come out, man.
Yeah.
So Never 99 came out because there's no filter. It's just no bullshit. And we want you to be 100%.
Yeah.
Like, for whatever that means. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. I don't think I want to put a rhythm or a ritual of lingering on the past, but there could be benefit to that, or worrying about the future,
or if that might be a good place to start if you don't even know how to.
Yeah, I don't think I could
live
let it go.
more presently.
I think that for me, I don't know if this is backed by science or anyone's ever done it.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But I think for me, it would just perpetuate the rest of the day to suck ass, because I would just continue that rhythm. It would be like a wave.
You'd still kind of maybe
go in and out. It would just do it because like I'm trying to not do those two things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Trying to be in the present.
Yeah.
I think
we're always trying to find the perfect solution. What can I do to make my day perfect?
Yeah. Right. Or just better. Right.
Yeah.
But so it's something I texted you this. I think I was like, was it yesterday? 2 days ago? I can't remember when. I spent like 2 hours in a meditative like prayer state. I kind of went in and out of it. I don't think I've ever spent that long trying to do that.
Just focusing on.
Yeah. Like that was a long time. Like, you know what I mean? So like it kind of, my mind wandered, and then like that was the whole point. So, but the majority of the time, I learned this from a guy. I can't pronounce his name. He's some sort of guru, spiritual leader guy. He's really fantastic. I just bought his book.
That book. Yeah.
Yeah, I sent you. No, not that book. That's the science book. That was the quantum physics books. That's breaking. So another book we're talking about is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. I love that book. That's a sciencey book. This guy I'm talking about is not sciencey.
Got it.
Yeah, it's more.
He's all from in here.
Yeah, which is what I needed right now. And then like he was telling, one of the things that he did or does or recommends is to like have your water faucet drip. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. So the same guy from the video. Yeah, that guy. I don't know how to say his name either. I apologize. That guy is awesome, man. Yeah. And then I love how he kept like changing in this interview. Did you watch it? Yeah. Dude, that guy was so out of his league. That guy was trying to he was like, how do I have a conversation with someone who's like, dude, nothing matters. Well, he wasn't even trying to have a conversation. I'm used to watching like cool podcasts and interviews now. Like I don't watch like regular interview shows like that. I usually watch like Joe Rogan or people like that have a conversation. Yeah. Kind of like we're having. Like it's a kind of, like if we had guests on, we would just have a conversation with them. Yeah. But like, so he would ask a question, which is fine. And then this dude would go off on this fantastic answer. And then I had 7,000 follow-up questions I would have asked. Yeah. Because he just dropped like, boom. He's like, bombs of stuff, knowledge. Whatever his first question was, I can't remember, but that would have been the only question I asked because what he dropped from there, I would have just had to keep asking and follow-up questions because it was so interesting. But this guy, I don't want to put the guy on blast because it's a YouTube guy. He's pretty famous, but he didn't ask any questions. So this guy just dropped like knowledge bombs. Boom. Yeah. And the guy just stopped. My favorite was like, how do people get in contact with you? He's like, I don't matter. Yeah, right? That was awesome. He's like, I don't matter. I'm here to like help motivate you, but it's your work. Yeah. That stuff always cracks me up. Yeah. And then he would just like, the guy would just drop stuff. Like some of it like impacted me. Like I heard the guy talk and I was like, yes, I needed to hear that. And I need to know more about it. And then he would just stop and go, that's interesting. He said that like 12 times. I counted. I think it was 12. And then he just asked another random question. I was like, dude, man, like. I mean, he had a job to do for his interviewing. And whenever you have someone who talks like next level, it's hard to just like, I came up with it. That's why we don't have cards with questions on it. Yeah, but he shouldn't have had thought he should just had a conversation with him. I
Yeah.
would have had that conversation would have been different.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did that. So I sorry, got off
The
the
7 minutes of watching a water drop from a
listening
faucet.
to it. Yeah, I did it for like an hour
Yeah.
because I wasn't going to get up and like turn it off. So it
Yeah.
was just
It's like, I'm going to stay here.
Yeah, and it kept going. I didn't plan on doing like
Some people also do that with the flickering of a candle flame.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of meditative rooms, especially in like the yoga realm, lighting a candle.
yeah.
Same idea. Focus on
Yeah.
something that doesn't impact you, I think was his words.
Yeah, so that I've heard of doing the candle. I've never heard of the water drip, but like I was like, okay, that's fine. But no, I haven't heard anyone articulate the reason why. Like just clear your mind, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I can clear my mind a lot
To
of
focus.
ways.
Is that what it was? To
He
focus on
said
something that
to
was
focus on something that's insignificant to you.
insignificant. That was word.
So like he was saying that a lot of us, like when we're going throughout our lives and we see something that's important, like this is important right now. I'll focus on you. This thing's not important. So I
Yeah.
don't focus on you. He's like, you need to be present for all things. So you need to practice training your mind on focusing on something that's insignificant and doesn't impact you in any way.
Yeah.
And I was like, bet.
And that was the practice to stay open and like aware, or sorry, not aware, to stay open and receptive
and present.
and present. Like that's the practice.
Yeah, and to be an awesome person. He's like,
Yeah.
when you talk to me, I'm the same to everyone and
Yeah.
to everything.
Yeah.
And when he said everything, I was like, I want to be the same to everything. Man.
Yeah.
Like, that's so cool. So I did that. I'm gonna do 7 minutes, right? That's what he said. So I'll
Yeah.
do it. I don't like making shit up. So like if someone's, I
I
don't.
feel like you said to do that. I'll just follow the instructions.
I will, man. Like I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. Like
Yeah.
I'll do it for
That's my problem.
Yeah, no, I like experimenting. Don't get me wrong, but like if this guy, someone I trust, I met him on YouTube, so
Yeah.
for what it's worth,
Yeah.
But I've watched a lot of his stuff the past couple of weeks, but I was like, yes, so I'll do it. I did it, and then but it went on for like an hour or something. I don't know how long I did that because I was focused on it, and then I was like, I guess I clicked out of that, and then I was like, okay, I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
And I just stayed there. I just stayed trying to like clear my mind. Because I was thinking about the program that's running my life and how it's going to constantly fuck me up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's there. It's going to, there's, you've read that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It was mentioned in one of the videos I sent you. I've read that book 7,000 times.
Yeah.
That's not true. I've read it like 7 times.
I mean, as much as I appreciate the art of reading,
Oh, yeah. You're not a reader.
I don't do it.
Okay. Sorry. I'm an avid reader.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. You should start reading, man.
I know.
But what
I
you
fall asleep
Yeah. You know what?
immediately. I either have to read out loud, which I don't mind doing because I definitely comprehend better. That's another struggle with my
what they say, like,
with my studies.
yeah.
It is a lot of reading content, and
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I think my biggest struggle is the black words on the white page.
It's true.
It's hard.
That is hard. But what they say, life and death lies in the power of the tongue. And then, God spoke or breathed life into the world. Like
Yeah.
it all came that way. So there's power in saying stuff out loud.
Oh yeah. So I definitely
it's harder and
I do
slower.
but it's also hard whenever you live with another human and it's just like, I'm going to read out loud and I'm going to have to reread it.
Yeah.
So
You
there's
should get Sam into it. Like whatever you read, like, dude, I'm going to read this
be
to
like,
you.
read it to me. He's got a wonderful reading voice. He's very articulate and
You can do characters and
very,
stuff.
very theaterist when it comes to reading out loud. I enjoy
awesome.
it. I have him.
We got to get Sam on the podcast.
I know. I have him.
Have you asked him?
Yeah.
What'd he say?
I mean, Sundays are like
Not Sunday, any day.
Yeah, I know, but he works
Just one day. Just one
He does
podcast.
want to. The moment has not come.
Okay. I have a whole other setup
Yeah.
for this.
I
so-
told him.
Okay, cool.
He's interested,
Okay, cool. We can talk about trippy shit.
but I have him
Because,
tell me
like-
his. Oh, he's good at it.
Because like his Facebook, all he posts.
Oh, he's so
I
good.
shouldn't say all. The
when
things,
the context of the things that he
the things that he
decides to
posts
see.
that I interact with is really trippy geometric shapes, and I'm like, you guys are perfect for each other. Like color, geometric stuff.
You
It's
should
so
see our
awesome.
little house now. It's so
awesome.
perfect.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
Yeah. But I have him articulate his, right now he's interested in the understanding and dabbling of stocks. I'm bad with numbers. I'm not bad with numbers. It's not my interest. I'd rather know what your bones and nerves do.
There's
in
different.
functional
Yeah,
movement.
it's not your shit.
It's not. So, but he's my shit. So
Yeah.
I just, whatever he's indulging in, I'm just like, tell me.
Yeah,
So I'll
that's
just
awesome,
have him,
man.
I'll just have him tell me stuff.
That's awesome.
And I love it.
That's cool. Like that's how you keep the honeymoon effect going.
Oh,
over
yeah.
time, right?
Yeah.
That's another good book. You should read that book if you're in the programming, the honeymoon
Yeah.
effect. Yeah, it has a little bit to do with relationships, but not particularly.
Yeah. He still calls me his bride.
That's awesome.
That's really fun.
Yeah, they say that when you so like I was talking about earlier, like this is off science. It's not my science, like just shit I've read and listened to other people. That 95% of your life is the program, right? That you've learned as a kid, you saw growing up and stuff like that. Only 5% is conscious. But they say when you fall in love with somebody, right? It's like taking the red pill in the Matrix. It's like, boom, this is what reality actually is. So then it flips the equation. So I don't know if it's 95. I think it's 90%. I think it's not actually a true inversion or a true flip. But then when you fall in love, like the chemicals that come out from your brain, right?
Yeah.
It changes the program from 90% of your thoughts, wishes, and desires, or the conscious mind.
A change.
Yeah, it flips to 10% of the program. So then that's why you not act different, but like that's the honeymoon effect when everything's different.
Yeah.
And then why
you have a different lens.
You have a different lens. You act different. Everything's like your life can suck, right?
Yeah.
And then you fall in love the next
you're
day.
like, everything is amazing.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right. Nothing changed except for the person that entered your life. And they didn't change your job, your work.
No,
your
they
past.
just changed how your brain decided to view your input.
Yeah. And then on the, molecular level, just all this, your body chemistry changed.
You're like,
yeah, your body chemistry, you can measure it.
Happy is a good, good place for your body to be in.
Like this is not weird science. This is like undeniable
science.
Yeah, undeniable science. When you're in a state of bliss, or joyfulness is what they call it. Your body chemistry is completely different than when you're in a fearful anxiety state.
Yeah.
So it changes that, because I think most of us live in a fearful anxiety state.
Yeah.
Throughout. That's why people, like, our country sucks. Like I shouldn't say our country sucks. Us as a people in our country are suffering from
the effects of like misery. Because that's all we're putting out there.
Mass amounts of depression, anxiety, and sadness, right? Including myself in spurts, which I'm working through. But yeah, when you fall in love, it flips that.
Yeah.
And then that's when usually two people fall in love at the same time. It might not be the same day, but like we're falling in love together, right? That's how it goes. It's not that's how it goes, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time.
That's the goal.
In the good way. In the good way. You know what I mean? And then the honeymoon effect, that's the honeymoon effect, but then meaning that it wears off, because then what happens is like you stop perpetuating that, and then your autopilot kicks back in, and then the equation flips back to 95.5.
Yeah, that's something that I decided after we got married. Like my role that I decided to put in, like as this title of wife. I try not to hold on to labels, but something I wanted.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
you should hold on to that.
To put into our relationship.
You have to put into it, because if you don't, it's death.
Yeah.
That's the relationship.
To understand he's a different person. He thinks differently than I do. And to just accept it. And I'm working at not trying to change the dialogue. So like to not change his mind. To not try to put what I want to do and to literally move with him. It's been really cool.
That is really cool.
That's a wife goal of mine.
That's a good job. You
Thanks.
should. Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, that's what happens is like, so everything happens. Your body chemistry literally changes, which is awesome, right? Have you ever watched, what's that show? Rick and Morty?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I would say Rick and Morty. Okay, I like Rick and Morty. I was like, if you haven't watched Rick and Morty, that's for you. Like, it's a fantastic show. There's a part on there where
not really for children.
No, it's not for children at all. No. I won't. Andre, sometimes you'll catch me watching. I'm like, turn it off real quick. He's like, Dad, I want to watch, because we watch cartoons together. I'm like, nah,
he's like,
man.
that's a cartoon. Be like, that is
not
adult cartoon. 100%.
There's a scene in there where he was saying that love is bullshit, or love is a lie. He was like, it's just a phenomenon that your brain does to make sure you can procreate.
Be like, you need to like this other human enough to make weird things happen.
Yeah. And then it fades away over time.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. Well, that's part of it, but like, I don't believe that to be the sole essence of it, but that's pretty funny. There's actually a TikTok video. It's pretty viral if you don't watch TikTok.
No, if it's not on like Instagram stuff, I don't see it.
Yeah. I mean, basically Instagram Reels is TikTok.
Just TikTok. Yeah, I've noticed that.
They just send it over because it does more stuff. It's got cooler things to make it, whatever. But man, I put it on TikTok and like, I just start scrolling through the videos, and like 2 hours later, I'm like, what the fuck?
Like, whoa.
I'm like, what?
Japan's got your brain space. That's what just happened.
They got all of it.
They're like, we know exactly what this man wants to look at. We're going to keep pushing it.
They do, man.
And it's, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. Like, is it cool that I could just like go into this inward space that is the internet and look at this tiny little thing in my hand and just like see other people's creation, their hard work, their dedication, and to just see what it is as a tool? But then also to like man, why does this matter?
It doesn't.
Or the programming of like, I'm going to keep showing you what you like.
It's echo chamber.
Yeah.
It just shows you, sometimes like it's dangerous because you just see things that reaffirm what you already believe.
Yeah. And it's hard to find information whenever you only see stuff that you click on one link of say you're looking at a topic and you're going to the positive side. You clicked on one positive link, boom, it's going to click another positive link. And then until you click on that negative link, it's not going to keep showing you negative stuff because it's going to keep moving you towards what you've clicked on because it's like, that's what you like. Okay, we're going to show you this 5 more things that you like, 6 more things that you like, subcategories of what you like.
Yeah, it only wants to keep you on the thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't care what if it's positive, negative. It doesn't care. So this is kind of fun. This is what I do. But
also like, is that all bad? Like it's a tool. You can use a screwdriver to stab yourself in the face, or you can fix your faucet.
It's true.
So it's a tool.
As far as how I think our minds are composed, it is bad because we're stupid.
We don't have the like emotional intelligence enough to separate ourselves.
Just think about people who are highly political.
Yeah.
They can't separate themselves. They can't even see.
During the thing that you sent me, there was
which one? I sent you things.
I know.
Is it too many things?
No.
Okay.
No. I just can't remember. More things. I can't remember the names of stuff.
I try to make sure I just send you the appropriate
what I listened
to
today. The whatever impact factor, whatever it was, impact factor. That stuff that I just watched. One of the we're at, a few days out from the Senate.
Yeah, in Georgia, stuff. There's a runoff or something.
Yeah.
So YouTube is nothing but
But you want to know what one of these pancakes had? It was a clip of him talking, be like, I think we should understand and pay police for, understanding the line of duty that they take, something like that. And the smear ad was like, he wants to seek the line of payment and lower defund police. And it's like, that's not what he said at all.
He said he wanted to fund police more.
Yeah, he was like, they should be funded for the line of work that they do.
Yeah.
And then the smear ad was like, he wants to defund them.
It's fucking crazy, man.
It's like, that's not what he said at all. But yeah, we're fucking dumb.
That's what I meant.
If we don't he didn't say that, and we only listen to what that serious note of this is how they talk, and that's how mind control works. It's like, let me just talk in this really confident tone and you will listen to me.
Yeah, it's called confirmation bias. It's a human thing. That's why it's a human. We're not really, well, some of us are dumb, but there's a human trait that we want to seek out things that confirm what we believe. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. I'm sure there's and
that's why belief systems are so toxic. They can be.
Well, yeah, it's
true.
They
can guide you into a good way and they can do good things for people, but as a premise, they're pretty toxic to how we.
I don't know if you guys are the part where that guru was talking. He's like,
I watched the whole thing.
Okay, cool. One thing he said that it's gonna change my life. I just watched it a week or two ago. I'm not gonna lie. He was like, once you have a belief, he's like, once you have a belief, you have a conclusion.
Yeah.
And then once you have a conclusion, he's like, you're at the end.
Yeah.
And he's like, the end is death.
Yeah.
He's like, that's the ultimate end. So he's like, the more beliefs you have, the more conclusions that are true. You're dying in installments.
Yeah. What was
I was like, when he said that, I was like, if you could, to put this in perspective, right? So I was at the playground with my son. I was I park right at the playground, and then he goes and runs, but I stay in my car because I can sit in my car and see everything, right?
Yeah.
So I'm watching YouTube videos, right? He's there for 3 or 4 hours. I let him just go ham.
Yeah. Have fun. Go run.
Yeah. Go be with kids, man. Everything's weird now. Be social.
Yeah.
I mean, don't freak out. There's kids running around or whatever. They're outside. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
They're running around or whatever. And that part happened. I had it on my steering wheel. I was watching it. I was freaking out, man. I paused it. I was going hype over
I need to listen to that 10 more times.
I did listen to that time. Yeah. I kept hitting the back 15-second button. I kept listening to it.
Yeah, I liked in that other blurb of that same idea was blurb. You don't create seekers. We naturally do that. Humans are seekers.
Yes, you have belief systems you have to teach.
Yeah.
That's what made me think about that part when you said it. Yeah, I thought when I said that, I was like, word.
Word.
You know what? This is really trippy, man. So he said that and I paused it because I was like, I got to think about that for a second.
I paused it a few times too. And just wait, I need to digest that. Or just other things. He was talking about, if we were to walk around in the dark, you would be way more aware. I literally just read something on my, these physical therapist and stop chasing these physical therapist folks, that your brain would react differently if you were to walk into a dark room that you didn't know. You would be aware. Yeah. Instead of the autopilot, you would be hyper aware of your situation in your place.
It would switch over. The program would click over and be your conscious body.
But I just thought it was fun that I saw it twice in a few days. That's something that's really fun when you learn something new. Yeah, that you just keep seeing it.
Synchronicity is a motherfucker, man.
Be
I
like,
believe in
oh,
that. I believe in that shit so much.
whenever the world's like, hello, remember
Yeah.
this thing I showed you?
Yeah.
Here's it again. Here's it again. Be
Yeah.
like, here's it from another angle.
You know, I've never heard God talk to me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
You know, you hear these. I don't know if it's true or not. I've never heard God talk to me. Right.
Yeah.
But I do believe in synchronicity, and I believe the little breadcrumbs that they're being left for me, and then you can either pay attention,
Bro, like,
pay attention to them, or not. So
Yeah.
for me, I've never heard like a person's voice. I would imagine it's
outside
really
of your own voice in
very,
your own head.
very rich coming into me. I'm like, oh, this is a higher power speaking to me with words and sentences.
Have you ever heard different voices come from your dreams?
No, I've never thought about that sentence before.
Oh.
So you just
Sorry.
you just short circuited my brain because I was like,
I'm like,
I gotta say that again.
okay. So this
Have I
is
ever
just,
heard other?
have you ever heard voices in your dream that were not you speaking? Like an actual
No.
another voice?
No, I don't think so. So I've never thought about that before.
I've only experienced it twice. Once whenever it was still my voice, but it was like a bilingual check mark for me. I had said a sentence, even though I was like criticized about that sentence in German. I said a German sentence in my head and I was criticized for it, but it was like, all right, I'm still there.
Was
and
it
then,
weird? Was it super impactful hearing this? I've never. Sorry, you've just short circuited my circuitry. You said I was like,
no, but the time that it was impactful was I heard it wasn't like an actual language, nothing that I knew, but it was definitely like a sound. It was definitely a sentence of some sort, a small phrase, something was said. And I was like, where did that even come from?
that's crazy.
It wasn't me.
I don't. You know, that's wow. I don't. Think,
But I didn't, in my head, it wasn't like, oh, this is God talking to me. I just have intense dreams.
Yeah.
And that was one of them.
That's crazy. Yeah, like I said, for me, I'm sorry, no, I haven't.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna think about that now. I'm gonna pay attention to that
Yeah.
when I wake up in my dreams.
I'm a dream seeker. So
That's cool.
that's where I focus a lot of my meditative
Dream
time.
Seeker. What did you were supposed to call me? Star Lord
Star
too?
Seeker.
Star Seeker.
Star
too.
Seeker too.
Yeah, nice. That's awesome. No, man, you just fucked me up.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not gonna lie. I gotta.
Whoa. I dream really heavy. I
don't-
also like stay in bed until like I'm told I need to go do things by myself. Be like, this has been long enough.
I don't. I have regular dreams unless I take melatonin. I don't take hardly anything ever.
Yeah.
But every once in a while I'll take melatonin. My brain won't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So-
sleep can be hard if it doesn't stop.
Yeah, right. So like every once in a while I'll take melatonin, not very often, but I don't, for a couple of reasons. I don't like taking anything from the outside in to change my my
Brain
chemistry.
space?
Yeah, my brain space, my chemistry. I like to work on that from the inside out. Then also it makes my dreams vivid.
Yeah.
Which is a side effect of melatonin.
Yeah.
So like, so it's not like that's not particular to me, but to me the dreams are too much.
Where you don't even feel like you slept.
They're just too much. They're not even necessarily scary. They're not nightmares. They're just too vivid. They're too good. They're too normal. They're too beige. They're
Too much.
It's too much, man. Like I wake up and I'm just like,
It's like that was heavy.
I wake up and have a headache, or because I've been grinding like
Yeah,
this.
you've been clenching and just
Yeah, like I don't have nightmares of monsters anymore. I have nightmares of like uncomfortable situations and me getting pissed off, or people doing mean things to me, or my nightmares. So I wake up, I'm just like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't fuck with melatonin unless I like, man, I haven't slept in a while.
like I need to sleep.
Yeah, so that's why I wake up early. Like one reason I wake up at 5. I wake up at just about 5. I woke up today, Sunday. I woke up at 5 a.m. No reason to get up. I wake up. I do my stuff in the morning. I work out in the morning. Since I got sick, I got really sick a while ago. I've had a hard time exercising.
Yeah.
My body is trashed.
You know, like I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm tired and my body's trash. So I've been.
But you need to recover, man. Sickness is
Shit, man.
People don't give their bodies enough time to heal
It's true.
on anything.
That's true.
Mentally, physically. I have people all the time. They're like, yeah, I rolled my ankle. It's been 6 months. And I'm like, well, no one taught you anything about ligaments. And it's not muscle fiber and it doesn't heal the same way. I'm sorry.
It doesn't, man.
It doesn't. I don't care if it's been 12 months.
So I've been fucking struggling with that. What I was. Oh yeah, why I wake up early. I wake up early. I like to have time for myself in the morning. Like I said,
Yeah.
I'm trying to So I was using willpower. This is what I've learned. Sorry, but kind of the overarching premise of the podcast. I was trying to use that 5% to change the day, and now, like recently, I've been trying to change the programming.
Yeah.
Which is why I've been trying to get more into meditating and like
Would your programming be like the filters in which you kind of guide yourself?
What's the filters? I was when I was in 0 to 7. When I was in when I was in
Theta waves.
and, and that was the worst time of my life. I had violence. I had people in and out.
Yeah.
I didn't know
no stability. Scary brain trying to like protect itself.
Yeah, I didn't know my mom, didn't know my dad. I had I shouldn't say all the things. People had way worse than me, but like it wasn't great.
It's still trauma.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the Brady Bunch. It wouldn't be on a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not.
Those are trash anyways.
Huh?
Those are trash anyways.
They are trash, but like whenever I do like watch people watch them, everything looks happy and good. Like, yeah, right. So it wouldn't be that. So like that was my programming. And once I kind of learned that was all the things that happened to me, like that was Dr. Bruce Lipton. He's a fantastic human. He's a good doctor. He's got books. He's got talks. You should check him out. But he was saying that your life is a printout of your subconscious mind. Mm-hmm. He's like, you can go to like all the therapy and counseling and everything that you want to do, but all you have to do is look, what do you work really, 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 really hard at? And then like you get it sometimes, but it's so hard to get.
Yeah.
He was like, you don't have a program to get the things that you want. You're working against your subconscious on that one. So I was like, fuck, when he said that, because there's certain things if you have a life pie, like a pie chart, there's a certain chunk of this pie that I don't even have to think about, and it happens to me.
Yeah.
All the good things,
yeah.
the things I want. I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
This happens, I'm good. And there's a certain thing, there's other aspects that I want tremendously, and then I work so hard at them, and I have none of them, and I'm fucking 39.
And you have no control on when it happens or not.
Yeah, so like I'm fucking 39. I'm like, shit, man, I should have this chunk. But I was like, this chunk I have.
That's a weird programming we have in this. I don't know if it's just the U.S. I've obviously never lived. I mean, I have lived in other countries, but I was small.
America.
Or just not even, I mean, I'm sure other places have their own, I don't know if it's dogma or their programming or the way that we like.
Well, dogma is like hardcore beliefs.
Yeah.
Like without
premise, without
belief,
just believing to believe.
Belief without thinking about it. Mm-hmm. Like not allowed to think about the duality of the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
That's probably not the Webster's dictionary of it, but that's how I think of dogma.
Yeah. But just the way that we live, as far as like trying to reprogram like what we were given, like, okay, that's not what I want. How do I change that? I forgot where I was going with that.
That's okay. That's my life. It's cool. It'll come back to you. Just kind of go back to it.
Yeah.
But I think, it's kind of cool when you go back to biblical times, like the story of man, of humans, not man, but you know what I mean by man. It's like,
whoa, man.
Whoa, man.
Whoa, man.
You know what I mean? But like, we're always passing the buck off, right? Mm-hmm. But some of it is true. Like I said, like science says, like the first 7 years you are in hypnosis state. But like back then, like, God was like, hey man, y'all are good.
Yeah. Don't
eat this fucking tree. He didn't drop an F-bomb.
He probably did.
You never know. You don't know.
You don't know what Jesus and God did.
You don't know. But he was like, don't eat this tree, right? And then they ate it.
Yeah.
And he was like, Adam, don't quote me. I know, actually, I know the words, but this isn't what, this is what in the Bible. He was like,
this is how we're interpreting it for this podcast.
Yeah. At 10 o'clock bourbon time. Did you eat from the tree?
Yeah.
And he was like, I did.
I was like, what are we looking at?
Yeah, the tree right there.
Yeah.
He said, I did, but this woman tempted me and made me do it.
Oof.
That's what he said. I mean, like he said, you know what I mean? And then he took the woman and he was like, hey.
It's like this bitch ass snake told me to do it.
Exactly, right? Pass the buck over there. Yeah, the snake, it was a metaphor, representative of the opposite of God, right? So that, but they're better than us, so that he didn't pass the buck. He didn't say. I think the snake said nothing.
Yeah, why would the snake say anything?
But you know what I mean. So like,
I'm above that.
It's just one of those things that we look and we blame things, but there's some truth to that. You're programmed that way, but like I hate blame.
Yeah,
I love personal responsibility. So like, I don't blame my parents. I don't think I've said anything about blaming them. It's just truth.
That's just what happened.
Yeah,
especially in that informative theta wavelength brain.
Yeah,
your first 7 years encountered.
I've got passive blaming. I guess when I was younger, I did a lot of that. Let's say younger, like late teens.
Oof, me at 13.
Early
I apologized
20s.
to my parents for that year in my life.
Yeah,
I was like, I was a garbage human with really awful thoughts about everything. That wasn't me.
I was a pretty good human with awful parents. I think I probably was.
You want to talk about dropping the F-bomb? I was a sailor mouth, and I had nothing positive to say.
Man, you know what? In the year 2000, how old were you in the year 2000? You're 10 years younger than me, so you're like 8.
Yeah,
I was 18.
Okay, yeah, I was 8.
Yeah, or whatever. I don't know.
We are 10 years. We are 10 years difference.
So I don't know how old I was, but like I thought because like that was the teachings I was listening to there were very, I shouldn't say evangelical because that's the wrong word. We're very
we are in the South.
Yeah, but evangelical is great. That just means like speaking out,
yeah.
like very enthusiastically speaking the good news.
Yeah.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with enthusiastically speaking what you think is good news.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
I do it right now.
Right now.
Right now is what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Fire and brimstone.
Is not as great.
Not as great, right? So like I was
Scary.
like, because I grew up in the South and it's very Baptist, which is great. I'm not against Baptists. It's just not for me.
13-year-old Sarah was highly against it.
Yeah.
I had some negative. Yeah, I was negative Nancy.
It happens, man. But I was listening to this one teaching and this dude was on like, I don't think it was called public broadcast radio, not radio, TV, whatever it is, but it was that version of it on cable.
Yeah.
Public access. Sorry.
He was just being recorded and
all the time.
broadcast
It was
through
all the
TV.
time. He's a great guy, but like he thought the world was coming to the end.
Oh yeah.
And then I believed him just because I just stayed up. I've never been able to sleep. Even back then, looking back on it,
Yeah.
I never was able to sleep very well. So I was just up watching this shit. I was just like, fuck this.
Sounds fucking terrible.
I'm going to go to heaven in the year 2000.
You're like, shit, I did that one thing a year ago. I'm going to hell.
Well, I was just like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Not fuck it, but I was just like, I do all the things, right? So like, I remember the countdown for 1999 to year 2000. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, y'all motherfuckers about to die.
About to die.
I was like, it's coming to an end, man.
And then we did it again in 2012.
Yeah, I would not. After that, I didn't care. But like, I was super fearful at the time. Like all my friends were out. Like I was in.
That's the day I met Sam.
That's awesome.
December 12th of 2012.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You want to talk about some synchronicity? The whole encounter of meeting Sam was just like, boom,
Yeah, every time
boom,
you tell the
boom,
story,
boom,
it
boom.
is cool.
I mean, the whole year leading up to it, like I feel like I was mentally and physically prepping my mind to like meet someone I would decided to love.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it takes that work prior and then that openness prior to meet the person to make it happen.
Yeah, just to be kinder to people and to stop judging people. That's been probably my biggest lesson of my 20s is not that I would say I was a huge judgmental person, but I can, as people, we judge people just because that's our filter, whatever. But to not have your judgment and be a negative thing, like my thoughts on other people, one, shouldn't affect them at all.
Like
it doesn't matter.
It's like, let me spray paint you in the face with my thoughts and emotions.
Yeah,
it's like, get this shit off me, man.
Yeah, it's like my
Sorry,
opinion
I
of
mean to get in
you.
your space. I just got like really close to it. Sorry about
I'm a
that.
massage therapist. My space is pretty small.
That's true.
Just like one, my thoughts on other people doesn't fucking matter. They're my thoughts. They shouldn't affect other people. And it doesn't, I hate to say it doesn't matter. It's very nonchalant of how I feel, but like, it doesn't matter. Like my thoughts on other people doesn't matter. Like, I'm going to love you for what you do, whether I like you, what you do or not. I can either choose to spend more time with you or less time with you. And that's really all I can control.
Yeah, that one guy was saying that ecstasy and agony comes from yourself.
Yeah.
And he was like, let's say I remember his phraseology. Let's say I hate you.
Yeah.
So like that means, and then I can't let it go. And
Yeah.
I hate you. And then every time I see you, my physiology, my chemistry changes. Moves to hate, meaning you could just walk, this is his words, you
Yeah.
just walk in front of my home
Ugh.
and I instantly switch to death on the inside.
Yeah.
Which means, but I don't actually die. It means I'm half dead. So that means that you're allowing other people to.
Yeah. The sleep, I think he called it.
Yeah. Like when you put a cat to sleep,
Yeah.
right? Which is death.
Death.
So he's like, you're living in a half death. He's like, death is beautiful. It's the end of the game. But he's like,
Yeah.
you're living in a half death.
While you're already alive, it's like you got more game to play. Why are you wasting it?
Yeah. Well, just off of someone's presence. You know what I mean? It's just, that's the part, like, that's because of you. Like they're not causing the agony
Yeah.
or the ecstasy. It's from, you have to learn how to create that.
Yeah, your reaction is your own.
Yeah.
And that's your work.
You have to be able to sleep in the cold sidewalk and love it.
Yeah.
As opposed to a warm bed. And love
You know,
it.
I was thinking about that the other day. If we can.
Were you thinking about that?
Sorry, me not sleeping, but
I was like, because that's a pretty random analogy. Or
we
metaphor.
were watching this movie.
Hold on, real quick. Can you
Yeah.
remember what you're talking about? Can you
Yes,
remember this?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry. I forgot where I was going with the Baptist thing.
Oh yeah, go for it.
I don't forgot.
Oh, you did forget?
It's gone. But like I had a point to that. Like, so like, now.
I mean, it's a filter and it's had, and it can be a good thing. Bill Donahue is my favorite person to go off of. Like, if you have been raised with, I don't care if you were raised from like hell and brimstone or, a lighter side of Christianity where it's just love, Jesus taught love, boom, plain and simple.
Yeah, I go from like just to get this case, I get hate mail from this, which is
Don't
fine.
send us hate mail.
You can.
You can send us critiques,
Yeah, which is fine.
but not hate.
yeah, don't
I'll
hate.
burn it.
Yeah, because you won't cause agony or ecstasy in me because it comes from myself.
I don't move to that lower
Yeah,
vibration of
fuck
hate.
that, man. She's a vortex of positivity.
Fucking vibrating
And
high.
I fucking feel it.
Bam.
But yeah, I like the teachings of Jesus.
Yeah.
So anyways, we can move on from that.
Yeah. Or I was just going, there's this movie, I think it's called Midnight Sky, George Clooney. It's good.
Midnight what?
Midnight Sky.
Okay.
It's new on Netflix.
Oh yeah, I saw something about that on Facebook.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm not going to go into it. It's kind of like, it's an emotional roller coaster. So if you're already kind of like in a woe is me, maybe, I don't know how you take, whatever, watch it if you want to. It's just an emotional.
I'm not going to watch that.
Yeah. But it's good.
I watch magic and science fiction and funny.
It does kind of have some magic because it is space. He is on another planet. It is space travel.
You got me. I'm watching it.
Yeah. Anywho, and he's just like on, I don't know if he's in Antarctica. I don't know if he's actually on Earth. It doesn't really go into super detail, or maybe I missed some stuff because I'm super not observant sometimes. Anywho, I was thinking about homeless people and how, outside of like, okay, you take astronauts, they spend years training. They might have already had another field that got them to that level. Maybe they're in like, astromechanics, or they're physicists, or they're great engineers, whatever. But what they have to do is the endurance. But if you think about these people who are homeless and live on the street, they endure every day.
That's true.
They endure like the super cold. Have you ever sat on concrete?
It's not.
It is so cold. That is the one thing I like. That's probably my first memory of something my dad telling me. Don't sit your butt down on concrete. You'll get sick.
Yeah, well, that's
cold.
That's a German.
That's a German thing.
That's a German say. I've actually heard that before from other German people.
Yeah,
cold
don't,
bench.
Yeah, don't sit on the cold bench. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe you told me that.
Yeah, because I mean, it makes you cold from the inside.
Well, I can get this. So this house I just moved into was built in 1880.
Yeah, cold.
It's cold AF.
Yeah.
Right. So like my feet are constantly cold because they're. Sorry, I got away from the mic. So my feet are. I don't wear shoes in the house normally. I mean, I can, but
Need just some slippers to go with that robe.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. That's my next birthday present.
Yeah.
So next year I'm gonna be fucking cozy.
Cozy.
But yeah, so every time I would walk around, my feet are all icebergs because like this house is a fucking iceberg.
Yeah, it's cold.
Yeah.
So people who endure, I was just like, man, homeless people would make good scientists if they could get their minds right, and like we're nurtured a little bit better.
Yeah, if they could get out of the grime.
Yeah.
And get into like, I guess, society.
Yeah, if they could or if they could just be plucked and be like given all the resources that NASA would give someone else.
It's kind of like that movie. Have you seen that movie Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith?
No, it's going to make me cry too much. I can't. When Will Smith cries, it's a heavy cry.
It's a good movie. So like it's a good guy.
It's also like dad stuff. So it's like parent stuff. I'm not ready to connect to that yet.
I'm all on it.
Yeah, I know.
I'm on it, dude.
You're like, I need that.
But it's kind of cool because that's a homeless person that's not a drug addict.
Yeah.
Even it's okay if you're a drug addict. People have ups and downs. And
yeah, people have,
shit happens.
People do not wake up and be like, I'm going to decide to be a drug addict.
It's invisible choices over time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, like cigarette smoking, for instance, like you smoke one cigarette, right? You decide to do it.
Yeah.
The next day you wake up, you're exactly the same as you were the day before.
Why wouldn't you decide to do it again?
It's an invisible choice. But like you said, if you do that one choice over 30 years, it leads to like a fucked up life, sickness, you know what I mean? Like, this is kind of a cool stat I learned one time. Like cigarette smoke is one of the things that will increase your likelihood of every known disease that a human can get. There's certain ones that it'll like exponentially,
too,
but all human diseases, like if you smoke cigarettes, it will increase your risk for all of them somewhat. And I was like, dude, what the fuck?
Well,
how is that fucking legal?
Right.
Like, how is like really
how
cool?
are they everywhere?
Yeah, how is really cool shit illegal?
Yeah.
And then that.
I can't have no toad, but you can have some tobacco.
Yeah, or you can't like eat mushrooms.
Yeah.
Or like, you can't smoke weed. You can't
if you go to Colorado.
Yeah, well, that's
or Oregon.
they just voted on that. That's almost legal. They're
in Georgia. They're looking for growers.
Yeah, like so. I don't know politics. The House and the Senate. Which one's cooler? The Senate's the big one or the House? It doesn't matter. Don't judge us.
I don't know.
This is not our field.
Yeah.
None of it's our field.
Just being a human, that's all we got.
Bam.
Bam. That's the only thing I can check off.
But it passed on the federal. That's always the problem. Like
the federal,
yeah, because like the states, the United States says it's legal, but in certain states,
I think it went to the House.
Yeah, so it passed the lower one, and it's going to the upper one.
Yeah, Senate's the big boy.
Okay, yeah. So I don't think you think it'll get passed.
I mean, eventually.
Yeah, I don't think it'll get passed.
John Mulaney probably has like the best. He's like,
you got me on him. He's funny as shit, man.
So funny. Anywho, he says that marijuana is the one thing that people finally got. It's like it's the one thing that we asked really hard about, and they're just like, Okay, we'd rather you take a little and do it here than go and blah 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 blah.
It's like those cool. It's like those cool parents. Like, you can drink here. Just leave your keys in the bowl.
Just take a little. We'd rather you be safe than out on the road.
Yeah, I had cool parents. Not my parents, but like I had cool friends' parents. I'm not going to shout them out because they wouldn't like that. But
dude, if my parents just asked for Kim's number, I say this all the time. You want to talk about being some bad kids? Tis.
Naughty.
If my parents just asked for Miss Kim's number, my whole operation would have been shut down.
It's funny you had an operation.
Just shut down.
You had dual lives.
Oh my god.
For someone who doesn't like duality of people, you lived a dual life. We all did.
They did.
That's why I like duality. We all do that. But anyways,
they didn't ask.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah. So hi Marley. Sorry, she's got a really cute face. You can't see her right now.
So my dog Marley is amazing.
She's laying in her bed.
I bought her some really cheap food like 2 weeks ago. It's almost gone.
Yeah.
I got to throw it away.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. So last night it was like it's actually midnight. I won't say on the dot, but it was like 12:03. I woke up. I was like, I can't fucking sleep.
Yeah.
And I heard. Yeah, I heard. I don't know if you ever heard a dog throw before. Like,
you will get more chores done at 4 a.m. whenever your dog or child puts bodily fluids on stuff it doesn't need to be.
Yeah, so she did that. So she yacked. But it's because like I left the stockings from Christmas out, and me and Andre had been like doing stuff, and then came back. She had ate like 3 Butterfingers. Because it was we put candies in the stockings, you know what I mean? But like she didn't, she's a dog. She didn't peel the wrapper off.
No, she just ate the whole plastic candy wrapper conjunction.
So like she yacked everywhere, which is fine. So I looked at her, and there's the normal
stuff.
Excuse me, the brown dog throw up. And then I looked, and there was just Butterfinger wrappers.
Poor girl.
Yeah, but no, sorry. The point of that is like I looked at her food, and it was like I've never seen it like this before. Like, I hear her chewing it up, but it was like,
eating it whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just threw it up whole.
Yeah, and then it got, and so let's say like a piece of food was a 1/4 inch.
Got big.
Yeah, is that normal?
I mean,
I've had her for 15 years. I've never seen that before.
As far as her throwing up, I mean, if it wasn't digested well.
So I think.
So I mean, it could be just not something that's easily digested. I don't know shit.
I think it's a cheap ass food.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've always got her really good food because I was
probably
like,
has like high in grain. I know sometimes cat food, if they like flick it in their water bowl, it'll expand.
Yeah, so that's what happened. That's what it looked like. It came out. So like I've always got the highest food that I can get that I know to get her. Like it changes over time. You know what I mean? Oh, this is the best one now, or this is different, or this came out, or whatever. You know what I mean? I do the best I can.
Yeah.
I've always spent as
money on the dog.
Well, she's never sick. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't have to do shit to her. I rarely do anything for Marley. I mean, she's good. You know what I mean? I don't do nothing. I don't put anything in her. She doesn't have any mercury in her. Like nothing, man. She just fucking lives her life.
She's just living her dog life.
Yeah, but I can tell like it's been 3 weeks on the cheap ass food and like everything is sideways. Just from that.
Poor girl.
Yeah, and last night it was like, I am. I threw it away last night. So she doesn't have any food right now. I'm gonna go to the store later. But I was just like, fuck that, man. That's crazy.
Sorry, girl.
Yeah, I got it from Instacart. Like I got it from wherever, and like they didn't have all the options.
As much as I live Instacart,
I love Instacart.
They don't really look at your produce.
It's true. Well, I've had some pretty good results, man.
I mean, I've had mostly good results, but whenever like you get 3 mangoes, and all 3 mangoes are rotty, it's like, man.
But who knows what a good mango is? That's a exotic fruit.
Bruises.
Yeah,
there are bruises on that, and I was like, man, Brandon.
You get 3 stars, Brandon.
I was like, dang, bruh.
You get 3 stars,
I appreciate
Brandon.
you picking it out, and that was really kind of someone else to do for me in the moment of laziness. But I guess like the care.
I know what you mean.
The level of care other people have for your stuff is going to be lower.
That's true.
Which is fair, I guess.
Oh, I guess. And so
they
get all them 3-star ratings. And
yeah, I mean, Sam. I mean, I wouldn't say just Sam.
You still give her a 5-star, Brandon. You give. Brandon.
I ain't rating nobody.
But the next time you come on, it makes you rate them. You have to.
Oh, I didn't do that.
You have to.
Oh.
The next time you do Instacart, it will ask you about Brandon.
Oh, be like, he didn't look at my produce very well.
You don't have to type that in, but you have to put a starring in. So I don't know if your kind heart went, that's cool. It's a fine.
It's fine.
Your toxic positivity was like, it's fine. I like.
The only time I do that is when I tip at restaurants.
Yeah, I usually tip pretty good unless you're a dick. I
tip good even if you're a dick.
I mean, it depends. Like if you're a dick, I won't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. I mean, I haven't stiffed somebody on a tip. I don't remember the last time I did that.
Yeah. I've never not tipped. Maybe in like a to-go order.
I don't even know if I have, but I mean like if you're an asshole, I'll give you 10%. Like, if you're like, hey, fuck you. You want a hamburger? You know what I mean? I'll still give you 10%.
They got whole restaurants for that.
I hate those restaurants.
I've never been to one.
Dude, I went to Panama City Beach one time.
Panama City.
Represent.
Bye.
And then I did not know that this place was called,
meant to be that way.
I think is it called Dick's?
Something like
Seafood?
that. Something like that.
I think it is called Dick's. I could be wrong, but it's like in Panama
Just
City.
an excuse to say dicks.
Dicks. In the beginning of the podcast, we said butt, farts, fuck. Yeah. But they have it, like, this is the same place. They have it in Panama City. They have it in Gatlinburg. They have it in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
Must be in all the scummy southern places I go to. Like, you know, the redneck Rivieras of the South.
Oh my gosh.
But I did not know that they did.
Like, why is this guy being so rude?
I didn't know, man. We just went there because like it was like jammed everywhere else. This place was not jammed, and I was like, "Bet, let's go ahead and get some seafood." It's a seafood restaurant on the beach. We went there, started being a dick to me. I was like, I
don't like this at all. I came for a nice dinner, and you're saying rude things to me.
I pulled the manager aside. I was like, "What the fuck
is happening?"
I was like, "Look, man, I'm not Karen. I don't think I've ever talked to a manager everywhere because I don't give a fuck about much things." But I was like, y'all are really fucking mean, man.
Like, I kind of got my feelings hurt.
And then I started apologizing. He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. It's part of the thing." I was like, "Oh, shit." I was like,
"Oh, this is a themed restaurant."
Yeah. So I didn't know. So like I went back and then like I started fucking with the waiter.
Yeah.
And it was fun then because I knew that he was being an asshole because.
For purpose.
Yeah, I didn't know prior to that.
It's like that bro love.
Yeah, it is like bro love, man. So it did switch. It switched from like, what the?
Like, this is rude.
I was like,
hurts my heart.
I was like, WTF? To like, oh, bad. We're fucking with each other.
I got it. I'm going to flick some peas at you.
Bam.
Bam.
Yeah, man. Like they made like a hat out of the menu and put like asshole on top of it and put on my head. And I was like, that's what I think. Or whatever they wrote. And that's when I was like, hold on a second. I'm going to the bathroom. And I was like, let me go talk to the manager, man. Because I was like, I am mad. Like
I am upset.
I lost my cool. I didn't know. And then,
That's funny.
So just if you ever go to those places, it's on purpose.
Yeah, I guess so.
I didn't know that.
Don't be a dick on purpose to people.
Don't be a dick on purpose. How many open stories do we have?
Age of Aquarius, your evangelical things that we forgot. There's no Dave on this one.
No Dave?
Dave.
Who's Dave?
Your friend Dave. What do you mean? You tell me who Dave is.
I don't know a Dave.
We didn't talk about it this time. That's just an open story.
No, who's Dave?
Your friend Dave. Davey.
Oh, Davey. Yeah. Oh, yeah. My
David.
David. My name's David. Sorry.
David.
Sorry.
No, we concluded that when he got pepper sprayed and it was funny. That was your bro love.
Yeah, that was right. We saw it on his graduation.
Yeah. Oh, I brought some sound stuff because we had talked about this before, talking about.
Hit it.
Oh, yeah. So. Singing bowl time with Dr. O and Sarah. Welcome to the inner light that is your being.
Fuck.
Fuck dick balls.
Fuck dick balls.
Fuck dick balls and fuck your mom. Just kidding. Give your mom a hug. She birthed your big ass head.
Sound bath.
Sound bath.
Soak it in.
Soak it in. I also have another one.
What are those things? Ooh. Those are fun. What are those? Hold on. Before you clank those, tell us about those. I'm not familiar with those. That's why.
I don't know if they have like a different name.
Hold on, real quick. That first awesome sound was a sound bowl.
That was a singing bowl.
Singing bowl.
Singing bowl.
I like to say sound bowl. Sorry about that.
This one might be tuned to F. I'm pretty sure they do have like scales.
Gotcha. Because last time we were talking about, there's a thing called sound baths.
Yeah.
You can get in.
Talking about open stories.
Yeah, we have so many. That's why you have to watch all the episodes in order and then just kind of like filter through them. Right?
Yeah.
So like, I'm the type of guy, I'm very skeptical and then very open.
Yeah.
I'm both.
Yeah.
I like to think things are bullshit and then look into them and be like,
all right, maybe not bullshit.
And then be like, fucking aliens.
I love it.
Yeah, dude, that's how I am. I don't, I mean, like, I don't have to make sense. I like to go. I think it's the program.
Sound, vibration, color, which is also another form of vibration with light waves.
Light waves, yeah.
Yeah. So that is all I care about. And then how your muscles move. And that is like, you want to talk about what makes up Sarah, and that is comfortable things, gem tones, sound, and vibration of any sort. And that's it.
That's it.
It's
a simple existence.
It's so simple.
But the simple existence is beautiful.
Yeah. I ain't mad at it. I'm really happy with my life, and I'm happy with all the choices I've made to get me here.
That is it.
But I don't know if these are called symbols or what.
Hang on a second. Just, the first beautiful sound that you heard. Hit it one more time.
We'll go back to it. So we got a little mallet for those of you who are just listening. It's got a little felt, makes it easier. And here's just a little tap on the side. Some nice resonance. And then you can take the stick and you can continue as you push the sound and move it through.
I love that shit.
So
if you ever like, I don't know if you if you can't see it, if you've ever seen the movie Doctor Strange, it should be in that movie.
oh yeah, he does have one, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They go to they go to a monastery to learn magic.
Magic.
Yeah.
With them K.
But I forgot. So super skeptical. But I'm the weirdest dude. I love voodoo doo stuff.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
I love it and hate it.
And no, at the same time, when I initially hear something, I'm like, that's bullshit. And then I look into it, I'm like, it's everything.
It's everything. Everything is everything. That's a coin phrase, Sam.
Yeah.
Everything is everything.
Yeah, right. So I'm just saying how my mind works. Like, I could just go straight to the good part. Everything is great.
Yeah.
But when it was introduced to a lot of things.
I mean, it's good to be like healthy skeptical with anything.
Well,
new
I don't know,
information.
man. Some people love to be skeptical.
Yeah.
And then if you're a debunker, you're not open-minded. You're only looking to debunk things, so, which is one-sided. So, but I'm just telling you how my mind works. When I hear a lot of things, I'm like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
But then as soon as I say that, I'm like, ooh, I'm going to dig into that. And I know as soon as I dig into it, I'm like, gimme.
Like, I like it all.
I do. I love it. I do. It's so weird. Like, it's just how my mind works. So the first time I was introduced to that
Singing bowls.
I was like, that's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I think that's probably the phrase. I don't remember. It wasn't that like.
That is kind of in your terminology, though. Not stupid.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So it wasn't. It wasn't like the most instrumental moment of my life. So
Yeah,
I can't remember.
fair.
But like, I was like, that's kind of stupid. And then then it happened to me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, that shit's fucking science magic.
Dude, that's like
Science magic.
science magic. The sound, I was doing this the other day, just like kind of beating my hand against my chest. And while I was listening to music, I was kind of just doing it with the beat of the music. And it's like, man, that's what I miss about live music is like, that's what people
Feeling
love.
it.
It's just feeling
Yeah,
it,
feeling it,
the
yeah.
bass. And it's like, you can create that if you want to. But that's the nice thing about vibration is you feel it. It is impactful.
It is. Yeah, it's true. You feel it and it's real when you feel it. Well, for some people, there's different levels of real, but it does for the person who's like, oh, I went to school and learned a couple of words. You know what the worst person is? This isn't true. It's not the worst person. The worst person is like Hitler or Mussolini.
He just wanted to paint, okay?
Yeah, that's the worst person. But like a person that I don't like is a person who went to college for 4 years and got a bachelor's degree, which I have as well. Yeah. They're great. But
he's the worst person.
Yeah, I am. But like, no, I'm not.
No,
because
he's not.
like a lot of people stop there.
Yeah. Be like, I did all my learning. I'm done. I know everything.
Exactly. I hate that person. I'm like, dude,
which is like the essence of 13-year-olds. And I think that's why I hated that year so much.
Exactly. So
it's like I know everything.
It's a college 13-year-old. Like, the person who doesn't know what they don't know is a pain in my ass. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that with that guru was saying, like, once you have a belief,
you're just tied to the dock trying to row away.
Yeah, exactly. Once you have a belief, you come to a conclusion. Once you come to a conclusion, it's the end. The ultimate end is death. So, like, you're just ending. Marley, stop it. Stop her. Touch her. You got lots of.
I got this chores today. So.
Sorry if you're watching on YouTube. That was not an earthquake. That was my dog. We should start doing that. But yeah, like that's the ultimate asshole, man. It's someone who doesn't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
But it's hard to, no one knows.
You don't know what you don't know until you don't know you know it.
Exactly. No one does. But I'm aware that there are many, many things that I don't know.
Yeah.
So like, I try not to have too many conclusions, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
I'm in like a constant state of the imposter syndrome.
What does that mean?
Syndrome?
I mean, I know what the imposter syndrome means, but what do you mean by you're in that state? Because that sounds awful.
Well, I mean, it's just a constant like understanding of like, oh, I do know stuff. And then I'm like, girl, you don't know shit. And then it's like, wait, I do know something. And then it's like, no, you don't. Keep going. Keep going.
Well, that's the secret, man. Like that'll propel you to be
I'm not mad at it. It's just a constant. It makes me laugh at myself and kind of keeps me humble and keeps me real. I'm like, girl, you silly.
You know what's crazy?
Baby.
You know what's crazy is like when we first me and Marley and my son, when we moved into this house, I had imposter syndrome. It's not even that nice of a house. It's just a regular house.
Yeah.
It's just old. I like the neighborhood though. I love the neighborhood that I'm in. Like,
it is a cool house. You guys don't see all of it.
Because I can walk downtown in like 2 minutes. It's fantastic. Yeah. I love it, right? But prior to living here, like I was an entrepreneur, owning a small business. I didn't buy myself shit.
Yeah.
I just put everything in the business bank account. I just stacked paper, which I'm glad I did. It paid off
Well,
especially during a pandemic.
oof.
Yeah, right. Like it was fantastic.
This is a struggle.
Yeah, but I'm glad I did it. Right, it was smart at the time. I wasn't one of those people that's like the bank account swells and me buy a Lamborghini or something. I was like bank account swells, almost stack
Hold.
Yeah,
Hold.
hold to the point where I lived in meager, modest means, right? Which was great. I was happy as fuck.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie. It was like I lived in meager, modest
That's
means.
the state I'm in right now.
But you guys own your house. It's great. I haven't been there, but I'm sure it's fantastic. But
I didn't indulge in like, I need a new couch. I need this. I need that. I need a new wardrobe to put in my closet.
I got a new couch.
Yeah. Well, you didn't have a couch.
That's true. Well, there's one upstairs. Oh, that's right.
But that's a tiny couch.
That is a tiny
that's
couch.
a love seat. You need a couch.
Yeah, it's true. But so I got, owning the business, growing. The bank account was swelling.
Yeah.
Could have bought some cool shit.
Could have.
Yeah.
It kind of did.
I mean, that's not, way cooler than that. I'm talking about
It's pretty fucking cool.
yeah, like my mind frame went to buying cars and then cash.
Yeah.
Just to put you in perspective. Like I was like, if I'm going to buy a car, like you want
the Cybertruck?
Cybertruck. I shouldn't say past tense, but like at the time I was like, I'm going to buy that in cash, right?
Yeah.
No big deal. Not that I'm fancy. I'm not going to
But it is nice to be debt free and just get what you want.
I'm not going to flex on
I'm a cash person.
I'm not going to flex on Instagram about it or anything. I all bought it in cash, but that's just like, hey, I'm going to go purchase. I'm going to buy it in cash. No big deal. So that happened, whatever. And then I moved in, meager, stack. That's what, work hard, all that stuff. I'm glad whatever. I'm glad I did it. I moved in here, which is just a regular house.
Yeah.
Right. And then I was sleeping in my room when we first moved in. I looked up, I was like, I shouldn't have this much space. Like, I don't deserve this. Like, I shouldn't have this. Andre's room is too cool. If you're looking at me up here, like upstairs is a loft.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing is my son's room. He's got a living room. He's got a bathroom. He's got a separate bed. It's really cool.
I would say you have like a 13-foot ceiling.
That's probably 23 to 30.
Am I that bad at like
10 feet is a basketball goal. And I can touch it with my hand.
I'm thinking of like people standing on shoulders.
Well, just think about
you could fit.
Just think about basketball goal is 10 feet, and I can touch it with my hand. I can jump and touch a basketball rim. Look at that.
You can jump real hard.
That's probably about 30 or 40 feet it goes up.
Okay.
Whatever. But I remember I was in my room and it was one of the days when Andre's with his mom and I was just sitting there by myself and I was just, again, not sleeping.
When you have more toilets than you have butts.
Yeah. There's 3 or 4 bathrooms. Just one bathroom I've never used.
Yeah.
I've never touched it.
Yeah.
But whatever. I don't want to clean it. I feel like I still probably have to clean it, but I feel like if I don't use it.
You got to clean it.
It's upstairs.
Yeah.
It's probably gross.
The cats have their own bathroom.
They pee in the toilet.
No, we haven't.
It's where the litter box is.
It's where the litter box is, but it is nice.
But as far as imposter syndrome goes, I was laying in bed and this is, I don't even own it. I rent it. It's not even a huge thing. It's not a big deal. It is a regular rental in a cool part of Columbus.
It just happens to be an old house, so it's got interesting features.
Yeah, right. In Columbus, it's pretty cool.
It's pretty regular.
It's pretty cool. I like it. I like where I live at. And I was laying in bed. I looked up. I was like, oh, this is too much. I was like, fuck this. And I was and it took me I had to that was the program that was running the background. I had to click on and be like, dude, man, you're fucking 39, dude.
Yeah, you should have some space.
With resources.
Yeah.
You're 39 with resources.
Yeah.
And you should have a fucking regular place to live in. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You don't need to live in a box.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like you're 39 or whatever age without resources. You're with resources.
It's cool.
It's cool, man.
It's cool.
Yeah, and it was very odd, man. I never felt that way before.
I did go back and forth with that.
It was the entrepreneuring.
Feeling like a child.
Yeah, sorry, real quick.
I am still a child.
It was entrepreneuring and then stack, which I'm glad I did. Stack, save. Because who saw March coming?
Nobody.
Was it March 2020? Yeah, March 2020.
Maybe the government knew.
March 15th. That's when shit went haywire in Georgia.
Yeah.
Who saw that
Isn't
coming?
that the whole Ides of March?
Fuck, I don't know what that means, but fuck it,
the whole
man.
Julius Caesar, the Ides of March, isn't that
That is, I don't know what that means. I can't remember the term.
I don't know. It was like a premonition kind of thing when it came to the story.
I do know it has Julius Caesar, and the Ides of March is a real term. That's all I know. Though.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
March was intense.
Have you seen that? This has nothing to do with Julius Caesar. Have you seen I can't remember the guy's name. I'm so sorry. It's a evolutionist he might just be a dude.
He might just be a mofo.
Oh, no. It's Terrence McKenna.
Oh, I love Terrence.
Yeah, sorry. But it was a guy talking about Terrence McKenna's hypothesis.
Oh, okay.
About how we came from, monkeys, right? We're all...
Joe Rogan talks about that.
Yeah, I watched a lot of Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
So that we came from stone monkeys. Have you heard that?
Oh yeah. So coming down when the wetlands had receded, there was a lot of fungus that had grown. Primates had come from the trees and ate new things.
Yeah. Well, think about it. If you're a hunter,
psychedelic.
think of it. If you're a hunter, you come out of the temperature changes a little bit.
Yeah. So you have more place to roam because it's more tolerable.
But if you're a hunter, you're looking for food and then you're tracking game, which is shit.
Yeah.
So if you see some shit, you're like, oh, there's a fucking deer around here. He's just shitted here.
Yeah.
And then fucking fun mushrooms grow out of shit.
And you're like, I'm going to try that because it looks edible.
Yeah. And then they eat them. And then
brains just go.
Yeah. And then they do that a million times over a million years.
Oh, what's the name of that book?
You read a book?
No, but it's.
But I know the title.
But I know that there's a book that talks about that on an evolutionary stance when it comes to like the waters receding because, ice caps had melted and the water went back to the ocean and more lands had come. Food of the gods.
Yeah,
Food of the gods.
That's Terrence McKenna.
Yeah.
The same good.
Yeah.
But
That's the name of the book.
Yeah, I heard a guy talking about their hypothesis. They call it a theory, which the theory is has been proven by science, but it's not. It's improvable. You can't prove it. It's a hypothesis, which doesn't matter. But it's just like what they think happened, which is pretty cool that we came from fucking stone monkeys.
Stone monkeys.
That's pretty cool.
Still a stoned monkey.
Stone monkey, man.
I've been there.
I gotta pee. This is how we ended the last one. So I love you guys.
We're gonna hear this guy first.
Yeah. Oh, no. Tell them what they are. Sorry, I
think
interrupted you.
I think they're little symbols, but
Okay.
you just hit them, and you can shake them. Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. It's like the magic waterfall, so you can urinate properly.
Used the word waterfall, and I had
Waterfall.
an intense pain in my loins.
I have to pee.
So bad.
All right.
We love
We're
you
Never
guys.
99, man. Come check us out
Check
on
it
our
out.
stuff.
Do it.
Bye.